Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. 169 people are with us already. Ooh, I have to say my heart's a little fluttery. Sorry for the little minute delay. I had technical issues. I'm still having technical issues. I poured water on my laptop yesterday, so I am using my husband's. And let's just say when you go to a new experience, it's super fun. Well, anyway, welcome to our September weekly setup. My name is Karen. I am your host for the evening. Make sure that your chat is set to everyone so that we can see it, and to make sure that you are hashtagging Sonder Social so that you are able to enter into our self-care raffle. So take photos right now, take photos of the pages you create, and tag us on Instagram at Silk and Saunders, or share in the app. You are going to see, if you're not on the app already, there's a couple of QR codes here for you. If you are an Apple person like myself, you turn that camera on, you hover it. It will do it. If you're an Android person, the same thing is going to happen. But yes, we love seeing your inspiration. So please, please, please tag us at Sonder Social. And Catherine just threw it all in there. And Carolyn, I'm so glad to be with you guys. I'm so glad that you're always inspired. And I'm going to do my very best to be inspiring today, because it's been a heck of a week. But we all have weeks like that, right? That's what makes us human. So this month is the theme of joy. If you've been with us a bit, you know that we've visited play, and we've visited desire, and some other themes. And this month we are looking at joy. I mean, what can be better than joy, right? Our agenda. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the really, really, really good news. How many of you guys were with me last week for 40 minutes and it went really, really fast? If anybody was with us for that and you go, oh, it's too short, well, we have an hour tonight. So if you need to get out early because you have something that you need to do, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I know that. But we have an hour, and it looks like everybody's excited, as I am, to have that full hour. So let's go over the agenda for the evening. We're going to talk a little bit about joy, and we're going to use a note page to be able to create a journal response. And we're going to set up that weekly setup, and then we're going to close down. But the best thing is that you guys are giving the comments. And if you were here last week, you may actually see I went through the chat and added some of those wonderful ideas in there. Oh, Kristen, I'm sorry you were in the car during the session. Don't worry, you're going to see my last week's pages too. So, joy. Last week, I talked a little bit about what the difference between happiness and joy is. And ultimately, what I learned from a little research is that joy is internal and happiness is external. That joy is a choice that we make within us, and that the happiness is situational and a little less fleeting. So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into, all right, so that's what joy is. Well, what are the pillars of joy? And we know that there's no get joy quick fix, unfortunately. It takes a lot of practice, and sometimes it works better than others because we're humans, right? I am stealing these 8 pillars from the Book of Joy. This Book of Joy was a partnership between the Dalai Lama and another religious person. Catherine just threw it into the chat if you're interested in seeing it. Thank you, Desmond Tutu. Deanna, you got it. My husband actually is the one who told me about this book. So I'm going to share some of the different pillars from there. Perspective is the first one, changing the way we see the world and the way we feel and the way we act, which changes the world itself. I.e., being exiled from your home country doesn't mean anger, but a new opportunity to meet extraordinary people. So kind of that reframing that is challenging from time to time for us to be able to do. Oh, Lynn, I'm glad that this is one of your favorite books. I have not read it, but I think I'm going to get the audiobook this week and really double down on it. Humility was the second And it is arrogance is the confusion between our temporary roles of our fundamental identity. Humility allows us to celebrate the gifts of others, but it does not mean you have to deny your own gifts or shrink from using them. So, yeah, that humility, that we can still see our value and other people's values. Humor and laughter. Laughter and a sense of humor is the universal index of spiritual development. Um, and I think we all know that being able to laugh at a bad situation, laughing at yourself when you do something that's not necessarily your finest hour, definitely can make things a little easier. Acceptance. We cannot succeed by denying what exists. As you grow in your spiritual life, you're able to accept anything that happens to you. Everything is wonderful. Our responsibility is to pursue the goal with all the dedication we can muster. Do the best we can not to become fixated on a preconceived notion of a result. Oh, I'm so guilty of that. Quite often, our efforts lead to an unexpected outcome that might be even better than what we originally had in mind. So, yes, I think that is absolutely wonderful. And sometimes the outcome isn't what it is that we expect, but it doesn't mean it's not even more wonderful. And thank you guys for typing in that book of joy in there. Brenda's right, really absolutely on it tonight. Number 5, forgiveness. Without forgiveness, we remain tethered to the person who harmed us. We are bound to the chains of bitterness, tied together, trapped. An eye for an eye will leave the world blind. If we choose to retaliate or pay back, the cycle of revenge and harm continues endlessly. But if we choose to forgive, we break the cycle and we can heal, renewing and releasing the relationship. I'm someone who, all through my 20s and early 30s, definitely struggled with forgiveness. And I definitely know that not releasing it was only causing me harm, not that person. They probably didn't even remember that I felt wronged. Number 6 is gratitude. Every day, think as you wake up, I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life and I am not going to waste it. The ability to see wonder, surprise, possibility in each experience and each encounter, that is a core aspect of joy. So definitely gratitude. And I know a lot of you like to use that one thing box in your weekly planner to actually put your gratitude, or some of you repurpose different pages. Like if you have a Fitbit for your sleep page, you create that gratitude journal. Yes, Tracy, it is a game changer. And Larice, yeah, forgiveness is a huge, powerful, and difficult tool. I'm getting better at it though. Compassion is number 7. All traditions carry the same message, the message of love. Compassion is a sense of concern that arises when we are confronted with another's suffering and feel motivated to see that suffering relieved. It connects the feeling of empathy to the acts of kindness, generosity, and other altruistic tendencies. So definitely compassion. Rihanna's saying she does 4 gratitudes every day instead of the meal tracker. And Carrie, yes, you do have to forgive yourself. And that's one that I'm working on for this past week too. The last one is generosity. In giving, we receive. Generosity is actually hardwired to make our brain feel good. So those are the pillars that we look at. And yeah, do you notice that most of them are looking and helping other people? Well, I hope that you are, because that's kind of what our journal prompt that we're going to do, that is exclusive to this weekly Silk and Sonder setup party. Our guide for this week, our challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to give back joy. So you can turn to a page in your journal that is blank. You could actually put this. I saw in Sonder Club, I thought it was such a great idea. They didn't want to mess up any of their note pages. And so they wrote things along the edges of like the welcome letter. So find some space anywhere that you're willing to do this. And so we're going to do a brain dump. And a brain dump is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to dump everything that we can think of. And so the first side, you're going to make a beautiful T chart in your note page. And one is people. And it can be people that are close to you. It could be a coworker. It could be the person that's your fitness instructor. It could be your sister. It could be a stranger. It could be the postage person. So I'm just going to brain dump all the possibilities of people that I could do something nice for. And then I'm going to list things that I could do for them. And I'm not taking it straight across. Like Lauren is going to get a fall package so I can mark it off my Silk and Saunders fall bingo. But the postman is not going to have notes posted all over the mailbox this week. So it's a brain dump. So you're going to brain dump all your different ideas that you have here. And then you're going to take one, and you can see this is me being a primary teacher in the past. This week, I will bring joy to select one of the people from your brain dump, by select one of the things for your things to do. Now, you're not limited to do only one nice thing for one person. You can do as many as you like. And we really, really want to know who you are thinking about doing something kind for, bringing them joy, and what are the things that you're thinking of, because someone else might actually be like, oh, I'm stuck, I don't know, my mind just went blank, and something you say may actually really bring it home for somebody. So I'm going to put a song on, turn the camera off, and I'm going to allow you guys to be able to create that brain dump that will hopefully allow you to come up with someone to bring some joy for the day. They say we don't want your broken heart. I've learned to be ashamed of all the scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. Welcome back, everyone. It seems like everyone's really excited about the fall packages. Yes, if you are on the app, you will see one of the squares in the fall bingo is to be able to send out a fall package. And you're asking who's typing? That was me. Apparently, the noise filtering on my second screen is not working today, so I'm hoping you do not hear the ceiling fan that's going on either. But some of you had some really good ideas of things that you definitely want to be able to do. Chandra is going to have send a care package to a coworker who lost her grandfather with some self-care gifts. She's going to love that. It's going to mean a lot to her. Alyssa is going to leave anonymous positive affirmations in the bathroom at the Merit School for whoever needs to see it. I'm thinking about doing that at the gym too. I just don't want the maintenance people to hate me if I do. Robbie's going to send several thinking of you cards to friends and family. I saw some really interesting ideas, like someone sending a Tootsie Roll bouquet to a friend who loves Tootsie Rolls. I saw someone who is sending something, they work with handicapped adults, and sending something to tell the parents how much we thank them for all of these. Coworker on someone's desk, things going for sending to a college student for the very first time. You know, I actually posted about the fall package in Sonder Club last week, and some people had some really good ideas. Like for my mother-in-law, I'm going to find a cozy fall book, and I'm going to find like maybe a blanket and a fall candle. And for my college roommate has a couple of elementary age kids, so I might include little mini pumpkins and maybe go to Michael's and get some craft stuff. Or yeah, look at this, comfy socks, peppermint candies, apple cider mixes, pumpkin spice, anything. If you're me, pumpkin spice, almost everything. So yeah, good ideas that you're coming through. So yeah, have fun with this. It doesn't have to cost anything. It can, if you actually have a couple extra dollars laying around, why not? But sometimes it's just opening the door for that elderly person that's going a little bit slower, or telling someone who you can tell, especially like an older woman, that you know you can tell that she looks really pretty. So those are types of things that you're able to do that don't cost a thing at all. Well, without further ado, we're going to move into our weekly section of the planning. And I forgot to find the page numbers. Catherine, would you mind throwing the page numbers for this week in to the chat? Sorry, guys, when I fried my computer yesterday, let's just say it was a very difficult day because I had to reset every password and download a bunch of software. So look, thank you all my Sonder friends for helping me out on those page 38 and 39. Y'all are the best. That's why I love having you here. So this week, we're going to look at this week, I want to feel. So we're going to break it up section by section if this is your first time with you. And I'm going to let you write down a feeling, but the rest we're just going to go through, and then I'm going to give you a couple of songs to actually write it out yourself and figure out how it is that you want to do. How I want to feel is really self-explanatory. It is just cultivating the mojo, the aura, the whatever it is that you're focused on. So maybe you have a big test coming up professionally or otherwise, and so you might want to feel accomplished. Or maybe you've been really stressed out and you want to feel relaxed. There's no right or wrong way to be able to do this. I'm going to show you some different examples here that other people have done. Fulfilled, self-love, proud, and grounded in my choices as I move forward. So it doesn't necessarily have to be one word. Someone had centered and some descriptors below it. Adaptable, optimistic, satisfied, content, cheerful. So it doesn't have to be necessarily one. Yes, and Noelle says she likes to use the stickers to make a mini bullet journal. Ooh, I like that. I love stickers. If you are someone who struggles with feelings and really digging down deeper, if you are someone who has been with us a while, this will not be new to you to see this feelings wheel. Ultimately, you work from the inside out. So this week I've been really, really stressed at work. And so I really do want to find some joy. So I dig a little deeper into the next ring. Enthusiastic, yeah, maybe that might work for me. Enthralled seems more. And then I can go enchanted or rapture. Well, I'm definitely going with enchantment. And so that would be a feeling that I would choose from the wheel here. I like to actually use a magnetic bookmark to be able to hold the wheel in my journal so I can go back to it as we go. I use it a lot when I'm setting up my mood tracker for the month as well. If you are not familiar with this and you do need a copy, Catherine will throw in hello@silkandsaunders.com and you can send them an email and they'll send you an electronic version. So looking at weekly major 3 goals. Now let's just get real for a minute. Some weeks you have more than 3 goals. Some weeks you may only have 1, and that's okay. Just because it says 3 does not mean you have to use 3. When I write these goals, I do go back and I look at the work that I created at my intentions and habits. So if I'm finding that I am weak in a habit, then that might become a goal for me for the week. If I find that I have an intention that I want to dig a little deeper in, let's say it's like relationships with my husband, and I want to dig a little deeper, maybe I have a goal to do something kind for him or set up a date night or something along those lines. And so that's one way I can reference some of the work I've already done and make sure it keeps continuing through the month without creating the wheel over again. Now, some things that other people have shared that they like to do is sometimes one of their goals is a no work hour. And if you're a bit of a workaholic like myself, that's a wonderful goal. Some people like to create on their notes pages a bingo board so that when they're creating those goals, they might leave space, do 3 for the 4 weeks, and leave the spaces and write them in as they go and cross them off. Some people really like stickers, like someone mentioned a few minutes ago, and put a sticker, like a little ta-da gold star next to that goal when you did it instead of a little check mark or crossing it off. You know, it's psychological, but that's okay. Sometimes those little tricks really do help us. Last week, some people had some really interesting ideas. They were talking about one of their goals was planning out time blocks and putting timers on for those time blocks to be able to focus that time. And I think that's a wonderful idea, especially if you're still working from home. So I really, and if you are here tonight, whoever shared that, thank you. That was a really great idea. Someone else mentioned that one of their goals for last week was creating a meal rotation that the kids would eat so that she would be able to go through it from week to week instead of recreating the wheel. So yeah, Sharon, definitely. Wonderful. Things I have to do, things I want to do, things other people want me to do was something someone else shared to be able to do it with. Someone, I never heard this one before, but I really liked it, is what relationship they want to nourish, the goals around the relationship, and the actions to accomplish that goal. So let's say that my goal is to continue building a strength with my mother-in-law. My goal is to talk to her twice a week. And one of the actions might be sending off that fall bucket package thingamabobber. So those are some different ideas that people were talking about. People are liking the bingo board, looking to see. Jess says that she uses the feeling sections for her weekly rosebud thorn. I like that too. Choose one for work, one from home, one personal. I like that. Being uncluttered, having a theme for those goals. Emily's saying clearing out the house, getting the small stuff done on the to-do list, evaluating who is in my life that is stressing me out and taking more of my time than I want to give them. Hey, we all have that person. So good on you. Okay, so here's some examples from past weeks that I can show you, and they go a little bit different depending on what's going on in my world at that time. So my goals were the first week to pass my Pilates certification, start my spin certification, and cook the Silk and Saunders recipe. So 2 were work related. 1 was something that I wanted to do for myself. The next week was a little bit different. It was more related to the move that I just made into my new house. And we're still trying to sell our condo. So 3 no spin days, starting moving some of the boxes from the condo to the house, and to do something kind for my summer staff because summer camp was ending at that point. So you can kind of see how it shifted depending on what was going on in my life at that time. Now, last week I shared the one on the left, and it was to rework my morning routine since the move. I have not been great about it. I also wanted to be a little more playful and talk about organizing my hats and to actually wear one. That one I've not done yet, and cook from the Rachel Ray magazine. And that one I'm actually going to do right after we get off tonight. The difference between the weekly to-dos and goals, the to-dos are things I usually just want to cross off my list. And my goals usually are relating to my habits and my intentions from earlier in the month. If anybody else wants to share how it is that they distinguish between the two, please throw that in the chat. So this week, my 3 goals were invite a new neighbor over, to deal with my computer that is fried. And I haven't been out in nature in a bit, and I live in Northern California. And so I want to go on a hike on Saturday. How are the weekly goals different than the habit tracker? You might break it down in a little smaller chunk to be able to look at it. And it just kind of moved on me. Sorry, guys. How are weekly goals different? So that's one way I look at it. My habit tracker might be like playing music, but my goal might be to curate my life. So bigger goal, curation, habit might be one of the little things that go along with it, or you could flip flop it. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to be able to do this. Sharon says, what I have to get done and what I want to get done, really good distinction there. Catherine, our wonderful stage manager, or the weeklies are things that we like to mark off that need to happen. 3 major goals tend to lean more towards mindset. Lynn said, my 3 goals are typically work related. The must-dos, where my to-do list is personal things or what I want to do. I like all of these. These are wonderful distinctions, and you can see there's no right or wrong way to be able to do this at all. To-dos, daily accomplishments, weekly goals, multiple to-dos with more long-term accomplishments. So wonderful. And everybody has a little different perspective, and that's what I love. And that's why I literally save the chat and include what it is that you guys are doing. So we've already talked a little bit about the to-dos and the difference between them. And last week I shared this, and I really do like it. And it sounds like it's similar to what some of you said, is the 3 Ds: delete, get rid of every task that's not necessary; delegate, get creative and figure out what you can delegate, or you need to schedule time to be able to delegate. And that might be the kids taking out the garbage, or it might be getting a food box for the week, or maybe you're at, I was going to say HEB, but most people aren't in Texas and know what HEB is, but like Target, one of the prepackaged meals that are really easy to cook. And then delight. Whatever remains, you're going to choose to delight into it. Now, someone said when they looked at their journal with their to-dos, it was a little overwhelming for them. And so I thought this was brilliant. They put a sticky note over it, put a pretty sticker on it, maybe their Silk and Sonder sticker that came. And that way they have something peaceful to look at. And when they need to look at the goals, they can flip it up and look at it, but it's not in their face. Tracy, yeah, I miss HEB a lot too. Texas girl here, I absolutely love it. Cynthia, I love that. Delegate or dump it. Yes. Another thing people seem to really enjoy is being able to break it in, that you guys talked about, things I want to do, or work, school, personal, all of those things, to kind of like break it into a way. So let's go ahead and look at some examples from the past. So I keep having to move my own face when I'm looking at it. So you can tell 1 week was really just trying to get things done, oil change, let the painter in, drop the paint off at the dump so it's not polluting our waterways and such. And then 1 week was to plan 2 spin classes, Plan for Pilates classes, start planning next year's summer camp themes, going into a food prep challenge. So you can see that that one was a little more work related. And then this is the last 2 weeks. I went a little more fun. I've been really heavy on the work. And so last week I said I was going to do some fall fun, thinking of it as like a bucket list, making a fall playlist, changing fall lipstick, which I did today. I put my sparkly on, and to find a fall book. I did. I read it. It was great. I loved it. This week, I am still going with those fall themes, using craft pumpkins to be able to decorate them and paint them to put them on my stairs, order some Halloween decorations from Etsy, and to do a Trader Joe's run for the pumpkin curry simmer sauce. I love it. If you haven't tried it, I shouldn't tell you because you're going to go get it all and then there won't be any left for me. But it's so easy to like throw some onions and sweet potatoes and stuff, throw it on the stove, put your rice in the Instapot, and instant dinner. Victoria, yes, some of those were Meg B stickers. Some of them are ones just from Michael's as well. So a little bit from each. Now, the last section that we're going to tackle before you have time to actually write down on your own is the habit and activity tracker. I am personally using it for my morning routine, and I was doing really well into the move, and I'm really trying to figure out how to be able to get that going again. Some people really like to break it down of something they want to do 5 times that week, 4 times, 3, 2, 1. I think Jen, one of our other facilitators, came up with that one, and I like that too. And I just want to mention that if you are looking for a routine of some sort, morning or afternoon, that such a simple idea, but having baskets for everything you need for the morning, even if it's just like your morning like jade roller and stuff, and then the afternoon or evening. And I have like, I'm asthmatic and a migrainer and stuff, so it has all my pills and stuff in one place, so that's really helpful. So I am going to leave these habit tracker ideas up for you. I'm going to play a couple of songs, and as you guys are writing out your habits, once you're done, throw them into the chat, because our fabulous stage manager is going to be like Vanna White and put stars so we can see what the most popular ones are. See you in a few minutes. Awesome, everyone. Oh, Catherine's already on it. She's already thrown those pillars up there for those of you who are looking for them. So if you were looking for those 8 pillars, there they are. It looks like you guys had some really good habits out there. And I feel like we need to be able to pull some of those wonderful ideas to be able to create our next habit bingo for next month. Megan, I love the fact that you want to practice your calligraphy. There's so many different fun habits that we're able to be able to go on. But we're going to go ahead and move on so that we have time to finish that second portion for you guys today. And I know that some of you guys are raising your hands, and unfortunately, I can't get back to you. But if you look in your chat, Catherine has been getting back to you. So if you need something, she's really there to help us out on that. And without further ado, we're going to move on to the meal plan section. So the meal plan section, yeah, Cindy, it's either loved or hate. And Susan, don't worry, we've had quite a few people raise their hands. I just didn't want someone to think I'm ignoring them, because I really love the fact that all of you are here and all of you want to be able to be involved. So I have some different ideas that you might be able to use for the meal section if you don't like to use it for meal planning. Dream log, affirmations, quotes, rosebud thorn, cut it in half for a study plan, how you feel about what you ate. So instead of like listing it as a log of what you're going to eat or what you ate, how you felt about it for that intuitive eating. Someone last month said they track 1 salad, 2 fruits, 3 waters. And I thought that's really smart because I can keep up with that. That I can do. Meditations, maybe not the list, but how did they do in that meditation? Was it really successful for them? Did their mind wander a lot? I think Catherine's listing them out there for you right now. Another one that I thought was shared with us, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I have a senior dog at home, and they use it for their senior pill tracking and how it is that they're doing. Now, I will also give some different ideas here that I will show you in just a second. And Catherine's going to throw those links up for you in a second, but not quite yet, because I want you to see some of the other more traditional ways. So you can see on the left, very much just writing what I'm eating, my smoothies, my chia puddings, all of this section. I know when I do it, I have a more successful food week. I just don't like always doing it. One week I used it for dreams. It was really funny because I actually started remembering it a little bit more. Melissa using it for migraine triggers, and I like that. As a migrainer, that makes a lot of sense to me too. Now, last week, I decided that I was gonna like indulge in one of the challenges. So, there's clutter clearing challenges, and there's writing challenges, and lettering and drawing challenges. So that's what I decided I was going to use it for. I was going to draw some little leaves, or maybe I would write the word birthday cake in my tan bow, thick marker and such. So that's one way to be able to use it. And Catherine's going to throw some links. They're not mine, but I found them on the internet, and they might be appealing to you. They might strike a chord for you. This week, I decided to reframe it for clutter. I looked at multiple clutters, and I pulled the ones that make the most sense for me because I don't have kids, and a lot of clutter does come from kids. I work with kids, so I know this, and I just moved, so we got rid of a lot of stuff. But she's throwing some in there, like a 6-word story challenge, a song challenge if you love music. Writing it down, it gives you one. So those are some different ideas to be able to use for the meal planning. The Mind Body Health Plan is a favorite. The ways that you could use that meal plan with affirmations, meditations, and stuff, all that works beautifully here too. Some people write how they want to feel for the day each day. Some people write steps, self-care wins. We had a group that really liked the alliteration of Meditation Monday, or Maintenance Monday, and Tea Tuesday, and Tai Chi Thursday, Mask Free Friday, Workout Wednesday, etc. This would also, if you're doing a challenge like September, this would be a great way to be able to track it. I also shared last week that I found out that there's different kinds of rest, and I took a quiz, and she's going to throw it in there, and it gives you an idea of what type of rest that your body is craving, and she'll show you an example of how I use that to plan it out for the next week. So you can see the left one was the Mask Monday, Do Good Tuesday, like, random acts of kindness, podcast, a sweet treat, coloring while watching a fun show. And then you'll see over on the other side, these are actually the list of different types of rest: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social, sensory, and creative. And so I tried to come up with ways that I would be able to do that. And then turns out I found a quiz, and it told me that I definitely needed some specific types of rest. So I created it on there. So it was mostly physical rest, which makes sense as a physical exercise teacher. So I was able to list those out. So this week I decided to go a little bit different, and I decided I would list things that I wanted to do for my relationship with my husband, like a good morning text, no phones at dinner, no love notes, 5 compliments, surprise doing a chore that he does so I could do the laundry this time, hike and cook together. We will come back to the types of rest, but I can put it up there when we are working on it, because I want to make sure you guys are able to have time to write your stuff down as well. So you can repurpose these ways in a lot of different ways. Shopping lists. So a lot of people use it. First one here, you can see it literally is my grocery list. I also was trying to not spend. So things that I wanted to be able to buy later and not forget, but not feel like I was depriving myself. Last week I looked at it as far as things that I wanted to add to my fall capsule wardrobe, looking at different ideas as all the seasonal articles come out, but things that I'm actually going to wear, because I don't have a lifestyle to wear like trouser pants and such. This week I decided, since it is fall, that I would look at some different, a deeper, heavier moisturizer, body lotion, overnight face mask, things like that. Oh, I like the idea of putting a picture for the week. I also, if I use it for a real shopping list, I take a photo of it with my phone, and then I take that to the grocery store so I don't have to take the whole thing with me. Neha, our founder, rips it out and puts it on her fridge. So there is no right or wrong way to be able to do this. And then the last one is pretty self-explanatory: a great food, memory, and song. Oh, thank you, Catherine, for throwing out those types of rest for us. So one thing I will say for the great food, memory, song is a lot of times people will use that for a weekly rosebud thorn. Okay, well, I'm going to give you a few minutes to be able to work on this. We will be monitoring the chat as we go, and I'll get some music going for you. Awesome, guys. Um, I wanted to share a couple of things people were talking about. You guys are amazing. Getting in that rosebud thorn in there. Yes, I do love the rosebud thorn. It's a wonderful way to reflect with children too, as well as adults. And Chandra said that she uses a shopping square to color off one square each time she stays on her meal plan or chooses a healthy snack. I block them 4 blocks, colored per healthy, good choice. That's a really wonderful idea. Very visual too. Um, Shannon says she uses it for her Amazon list. Lynn says she uses a post-it over it so she doesn't have to rip it out because someone else said like, ooh, that hurts just thinking about it. Section tracking weight, using it for books, all of these wonderful things. Yeah, we have a lot of readers here, definitely, for sure. So before we wrap up for the evening, I do want to share a couple of things that you may or may not be aware of. You have obviously found the socials. We have a new format this month. We have our weekly, we have our monthly, which is now an hour and a half. Earlier this month, it was an hour. Due to your feedback, they're taking it back to an hour and a half. Last week, unfortunately, I missed it, but they did a 30-minute coloring section. We still have another weekly session coming up next week with Jen. And then one of our favorite facilitators, Bailey, is going to do an activity, a map of life, I believe. So those are some things that are still upcoming for this month. If you are unaware that Silk and Saunders is now doing stickers, you are able to order those for October and they match beautifully with the journal. Also, if you are on the Sonder app and you read, Meha had a huge announcement. She was talking about how November is going to release new daily rituals and you'll be able to access from that app. We currently have the rituals going on, but they're the same one repeated for the last couple of months. So this is going to be a new set. They're less than 5 minutes and you're able to journal those out. So yeah, yay, I love it. I'm really excited about the new daily rituals. And then also, if you did not check your Silk and Saunders email last week, there is a fabulous post, or actually, what would you call it? It's a playlist from Spotify. In one of the polls that was in Sonder Club, everyone listed their favorite music that brings them joy. And they compiled it into a Spotify list that Catherine just threw in there for everyone. And it has a little bit of everything. So you're going to find something that you absolutely really enjoy. So always new things happening here at the Silk and Saunders Hub. I want to say thank you so much for being with us tonight. And if you have not downloaded the app, please do that as our active community. And that's when you find out about a lot of these things besides just the emails that are coming out. In addition, I do have a favor to ask that if you enjoyed this or if you did not enjoy this, please take the survey based on what it is you said last week. We upped 20 minutes on this. So, really and truly, you can use the QR code. Catherine's thrown it into the link. They're going to email it to you, whatever works for you. I just want to be able to say thank you so much for coming. It means a lot to me. It means a lot. And don't forget to post in the Sonder app and to look at examples in the app too. So I wish you a very good night. We'll stick around for a couple of minutes in the chat if anyone has any further questions. And have a wonderful evening, everyone. And I hope you're feeling absolutely prepared to go in for this next week.
I wake up to the sound of the whole world crying. to get a little off my mind, yo. Barefoot and a little bit of sunshine, radio and a little bit of sublime. Bass lines are pumping steady from a stereo and back on my Chevy. Good times, no more heavy. My crew, are you ready? And we're gonna call my friends, your friends, their friends, and we all get together like my friends, your friends, their friends, and everybody's gonna feel alright. My friends, your friends, and their friends, and we all get together like my friends, your friends, and their friends, and everybody gonna feel alright. Together now, my friends. Together now, I've been waiting for a little bit of motion on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Sunshine and a little bit of lotion. Sunset and